Hey there, Heather Ho, there's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Cutter project. I know I've got baseball project, PCB play baseball. I know I got uh, golf on the go, tennis, boxing, maybe bowling soon. But the fact of the matter is, I wanted to do Stone Cold Hockey and do a season playthrough. I did the 1993-94 playoffs. 93-94 season for my buddies at Blue Shirt Underground banner. Yeah, Blue Shirt Underground on the Facebook group, the New York Rangers group. And I think I won the cup with them. I remember that. So I'll give you the link to the video, to the playlist of 93-94. But I wanted to do season by season. So this is the 1964-65 season. You have six teams. The original six: Detroit, Rangers, Montreal, Toronto, Boston, Chicago. This is the only season Stone Cold Hockey has of the original six. Schedule, you see all that. Standings, top 4 out of 6. The teams, the players and the teams and all that. So anyway, that's what we'll do. And highlights, best wins, hat tricks, and memorable games. So I was contemplating doing um, a season of season of champions or something like that. I'm contemplating whether to do the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1964-65 on their way to try to three-peat, or just do like a Saturday night schedule or something. But yeah, we'll do the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1965 because they were on the precipice of repeating. So anyway, let's go. Okay, so Rangers Boston will autoplay, and it was a 2-2 tie. Now remember, there were no overtimes back then in regular season. So anyway, 2-2 tie, Jacques Plante. Yes, that's Jacques Plante. And goalie against Jack Norris. Boston scored goals by Ted Green and Dean Prentice. Rangers goals by Ross Gilbert and Vic Hatfield. 2/3 of the great gag line. Goals a game line from 71. Next up, we have Montreal and the Rangers. So the Rangers have to play one again. And again, it's a 2-2 tie. As Marcel Payet in net for the Rangers. And Cup Worthley, former Rangers iconic goalie that was always asked the question, which team gives you the most trouble? The Rangers. And he's a Rangers goalie. Camille the Heel Henry scoring 2 goals for the Rangers. Montreal goals by Claude Provost and Jacques Laperriere. Next up is Boston versus Chicago. And Chicago beats Boston 3-2, first win, and that's the surety over Eddie Johnston. Blackhawks goals by Doug Moens and 2 by Bobby Hall. Ab McDonald and Bob Leiter for Boston. Oh, shoot. I guess that is, you got to do that. Ah, shoot. I was on to play the day. Thursday, game 1 in Detroit. Well, that's not a good start. So, yeah, I was going to play Toronto at Detroit. Damn. Ron Ellis scored twice. Detroit scoring 5 goals. And all that. So, yeah. So, Ron Ellis with a pair of goals. Detroit goals by Gordie Howe, Floyd Smith, Alex Delvecchio, Ed Joyal, and Alex Delvecchio. I guess that's what happens. All right. So, we're hosting Boston. We'll play this one. So I'm thinking of playing 5 games a day and give you 14 videos and all that because it's a 70-game regular season. So anyway, the 64-65 Leafs, Terry Sawchuk starts today against Eddie Johnston for the Bruins. Leafs players Frank Mahovlich, the Big M, Ron Ellis, number 6 in your programs, Dave Keon, general player number 14, Bob Pulford, future Blackhawks coach GM, Red Kelly, taken over from Detroit to Toronto, winning 8 cups, the most cups by anyone not affiliated with the Canadiens. Andy Bathgate, former Rangers icon, now a Leaf. Ron Stewart, George Armstrong, the Chief. Tim Horton, yes, that guy from Tim Hortons Donuts. Jim Papin, for future Blackhawk icon. Don McKinney, who also was traded in the Andy Bathgate trade. In 1964, Kent Douglas beat Stankowski, the Polish rifle. Eddie Shack, included Jack Here Comes Shack. Carl Brewer, who went off and on with the Leafs and even played for the Leafs in 1980 at 42 years old. Alan Stanley. great defenseman. Dickie Moore, former Hab legend. Brett Selby, left wing. Billy Harris at center. Bob Bond, defenseman, a year after his overtime goal in Game 6. So anyway, Sawchuk and Bauer, great pairing. The Leafs, did the Leafs have Sawchuk in 64? I don't think they did. I think Sawchuk came over in the intra-league draft. But anyway, yeah, Sawchuk and Bauer. And the Bruins, Eddie Johnson starts, Jack Norris, their backup. Johnny Busick, the chief for the Boston Bruins. Murray Oliver, Reg Fleming, Dean Prentice, Tommy Williams, one of the rare Americans in the NHL. Ed Westfall, soon to be Islanders icon. Ab McDonald, Ted Green, who would be in trouble 5 years later. Well, who would be hurt 5 years later by swing thing in preseason by Wayne Mackey. Bill Nibbs, Wayne Maxner, Orland Kurtenbach, the first captain of the Canucks. Wayne Rivers, Forbes Kennedy. 4 years later, he would be in deep trouble as a member of the Leafs by shoving a linesman and basically ending his career. Ron Schock, who would score a famous double overtime goal for the Blues in the 1968 playoffs, sending them to the Stanley Cup Finals. Leo Bovin, Bobby Leiter, future Flyer. Bob Wojtowicz, Don Awrey, future Canadian. Tom Johnson, a great defenseman and soon to be head coach of the Bruins in the 1970s. Bob McCord, Murray Belfour, future Blackhawks, decent player. Gary Dornhofer, future Flyer and Hockey Night in Canada analyst. Jean Gilbert and Joe Watson, future Flyer. Here we go. Timing. So 6 minutes into the game, battle 3, control, 14 defense, 17 action. Mahovlich takes a shot, but fails. 3 minutes later, a battle, aggression. Hit by Reg Fleming, who's known for being a goon. Leaves on the power play, 5-9. Pulver tried, but he failed. Eddie Schock gets hit. Timing 5 minutes later, battle, unfortunately. Boston delivers a hit. Timing 2 minutes later, battle, aggression. And then he goes to for his hit, so Big M's got Boston. Front boy, no. Fourth Kennedy tries to take a shot but fails. Boston and Toronto will score 3-1. On to the second. 2 minutes later, battle, control, defense, action. Just the Bob Leiter. Light the lamp. He is second from Ted Green, 1-0 Boston. Ted Green would also be a key contributor to the Oilers in management in the 80s and 90s. 4 minutes later, battle, control, defense, action by Tommy Williams. They force him not to take a shot. Shortly later, action. Dave Keon? No, they stop him. 3 minutes later, battle, enforcement. 3 hits, but no penalties, thank God. 2 minutes later, aggression. Off for 2. Leafs take a hit. Busick off of a Kent Douglas shot. Tim Horton tries to take a shot but fails. Last moments of the second period, chance by McKinney. No, Don McKinney had a shot, but he failed. And the Bruins have a 1-0 lead after 2 periods, 2 minutes later, defense, action. Oh, Tommy Williams cannot do something. 4 minutes later, battle, control, defense, action. No chance. George Armstrong? No, he fails. 6 minutes later, There's a fight. Kurtenbach and Mahovlich. I didn't think the Big M would fight, but he's off for 5, which is bad news for the Leafs. They miss Mahovlich more than Boston misses Kurtenbach. Then with the penalties pretty much done for, aggression. So the Leafs have to do something. So, empty net. Horton and Douglas. We are tied at 1 skis. And that will do it. That's the end of the game. The Leafs get a sacred point. Boston, couldn't believe it. A 1-1 tie. Show you the stats, what the dice rolls and all that. Eddie Jones and Terry Sawchuk both get a point. Bob Leiter scores for Boston in the second. And the third on the power play, thanks to Busick's penalty for hooking Pulford from Horton and Douglas. So the Leafs get a sacred point. And as I said, no overtime in the regular season, not until 1983, I should say. So no score. Detroit, Chicago. Detroit wins 3-1 over the Hawks. Roger Crozier beats Danny DeJordy. Floyd Smith, Bruce McGregor, and Floyd Smith again. Future Leafs coach Floyd Smith scoring. Blackhawks go by Phil Esposito. Yes, that Phil Esposito. Esposito was not always a Blackhawk. I mean, it wasn't always a Bruin or a Ranger. He was a Blackhawk. And Esposito's lazy play, quote unquote, by 1967 wanted the Blackhawks wanted to get rid of him and traded him to Boston for the want of Pip Martin, I think it was, and Fred Stanfield. Well, I can't remember, but the Blackhawks rooted that move, and Phil Esposito was just basically Boston personified. Rangers Habs, it will be the Habitants Gagne 6-3. Hodge Gagne, Plante Perdue, Plante, former Habitants. Ranger goals by Roger Gilbert, Jean Latelle, et Lou Ngati. Gatti. Montreal goals by Claude Provo, Rob Backstrom. Great player was won the Calder with the Habs, I think, or for Rookie of the Year. If I remember correctly, Ralph Backstrom was traded to LA. It's a crazy story about how he was traded to LA. He felt like he was not making the team in 1970-71 season, so he asked to be traded to the West Coast, to Los Angeles. And at the time, Los Angeles and Oakland, the Seals, were chasing for the worst team in the NHL. Backstrom may have helped the Kings make sure that the Seals were last place in the NHL. Why is that important? Because Montreal had Oakland's first round pick in the 1971 draft, which meant that because Oakland took last, the Habs could swipe in and take that pick, the number 1 overall pick, and they used it for Guy Lafleur. Gentleman Sean Beliveau scored. Claude Provo scored a hat trick, and Jimmy Roberts, not the NBC tennis guy, he scored a goal. The teams usually back Saturday and Sunday, so Montreal, Boston, Toronto Rangers first. Got Sawchuk versus Marcel Paillet. So anyway, Marcel Paillet and Jacques Plante were the Rangers goalies for the Rangers. Eddie and Jim. Blue Shirt Underground, check that out on YouTube. Roger Gilbert, great guy, right winger. Camille DeEle, Henry, Don Marshall, Vic Hadfield, great player too. Bob Nevin, former relief. He was in that Sawchuk deal. One of the players sent back to the Rangers was Bob Nevin. Earl Engelfeld, Jean Rattel, Phil Goyette, Lou Ngati. They didn't have Robinson, Hick, or Brenneman yet. Rod Sealing, Kitchener at defense. Dick Duff, former Leaf and Hab. Harry Howe. Oh, yeah, Dick Duff was in that Sawchuk deal, right? And the Backley deal. Yes, he was. Harry Howe, all around great defenseman for the Rangers, getting 1,000 games with the team. Arnie Brown, Wayne Hillman, Jim Michael, Jim Nielsen, Larry Cahan, Don Johns, Val Fontaine, who only took, 12 penalties in his whole NHL career, which was like 13 years, and Dave Richardson. Here we go. At MSG, 3 minutes. Got it? He's out with the hit, and he's gone for 2. Leafs power play. Pulford can't do anything, and the segment is killed. Okay. 2 minutes later. Gilbert puts it, and there's no ice cream containers on the field. Thank goodness for that. Phil Goyette and Lou Ngati with the assists. Of course, Gilbert famously broke his back playing for Guelph in the minor leagues, and it ruined him for a while because the surgeries were archaic compared to what they are today. 4 minutes later, action. Kelly tries to take a shot, but nothing doing. Final. Just later, action. Hadfield, no. Timing. 2 minutes later. To 2 minute mark. Action. Stewart, no, he couldn't. Last play of the first period. It's 2-0 from Donnie Marshall, and the Rangers are looking good. They're up 2-0 on the Leafs. All right, so the Leafs are in trouble. 2 minutes later, into the second action. Slot chance. Red Kelly cannot do anything. Timing. 3 minutes later. Action. And a chance for the Leafs to score. They were given a penalty shot. And Bob Pulford sneaks it into the net. 2-1. Rangers. Timing. 3 minutes later. Time out of control. Defense. Action. Okay. Shelby does it again. His second in the night. From Dub and the Eel. Camille Henry. So Rod Shelbert gets his second goal of the night, fourth of the season, and the Leafs are in trouble. They're down 3-1. 5 minutes later. I got his second of the night from the Eel and Harry Howell. So it's 4-1. The Leafs are in deep trouble. Probably should put Bauer in soon. Once again, he's in the box. Once again, you're in the box for 2 minutes. Okay, chance. Ingefeld on the counter. No. Gilbert from Hackler and Raquel. Those three guys are going to be big, super big in the 70s. 5-1. Guess what, Sawchuk? You're gone. Terry Sawchuk can't stop a beach ball. And the Rangers are up 5-1. Toronto skills. The gentleman, Davy Keon, makes it 5-2. Nice stamina from Bon and Papin. Makes it 5-2 Ranger. Final minute. Rose goes to the box. Backdate for 2 for that hit. Of course, my best guy. Oh, Chabert was trying to get his 4th of the night. But he doesn't. He gets 2 goals, though. The Rangers are up 5-2 and have chased Terry Sawchuk from the net. What to do? They're still in the power play. Oh, yeah. Henry Mahavlich, nothing to lose. He loses. 3 minutes later. Action. Leafs score! Pulford does it again. He pulled it into the corner. Pulled it in with the wraparound from Billy Harris and George Armstrong. The Chief gets an assist. 5-3 Ranger. 6 minutes later. Action. Leafs score! Ronnie Ellis, number 6 in your programs. He scores. It's 5-4 from Brewer and Armstrong. Oh my God. 3 minutes later. Battle. Aggression. 2-minute penalty on the Leafs. Carl Brewer. So Carl Brewer's in the box. Rangers might be able to get out of this mess. Ceiling. Oh no. Ingefeld will get a penalty himself. He tried, but Ingefeld is in the box. Leaves now in the PP. Can't score! Pop power play goal! Papine in the crease. From the Big M, it's 5-all. Unreal. Final minute. Action. Raiders score! Score! Ronnie Ellis from Mahavlich and Keon. Can you believe this action? Unreal. Empty net. No shot from Ingefeld. Empty net. Marshall. No. Hey, the Leafs finally picked the duck. They've won their first game of the year 6-5. They scored 4 goals in the third period, and the Rangers are like, how the hell did we blow that game? You did. You blew it. Johnny Bauer, 24 minutes in relief. He gives up nothing. Sawchuk couldn't stop a beach ball. And the Leafs decide to go with Bauer, and he gets the W. What a game. It was 5-1 Rangers in the second period. The Leafs pulled it off. It's not the biggest NHL comeback of all time, but we'll take it. The Leafs scoring on a penalty shot and on the power play. But the Rangers did score short-handed. Rangers goals by Gilbert, Goyette, Gilbert. I bet you Goyette would have scored the next one. Yeah, Gilbert with 3, Goyette with 2. The Leafs, Pulford, Keon, Pulford, Ellis, Papin, and then Ellis again to wrap it up. What a game for the Leafs, 6-5. What a game! And Ranger fans are going to be like, shut up, Carter. Anyhow, Montreal, Boston, Montreal, Gagne, Cat, Hodge, Gagne, Norris, Purdue, Montreal, Lebeau, de Backstrom, Claude LaRose, Jean-Guy Talbot, ouais, et LaRose, deuxième de la match, Boston, Lebeau, de Johnny the Chief Busek, et Tommy Williams. Chicago, Detroit. Detroit loses 3-1. DeJordy beats Crozier. Detroit finally loses the game. Ullman with a goal. Bobby Hall scoring twice. He's got 4. Kenny Warren the other one. So yeah, so the Leafs are now 1-1-1. No games on the 19th. No games on the 20th. On the Wednesday, the Leafs don't play on Wednesday. Chicago, Montreal. Chicago wins 4-2. Glenn Hall beats Gomborsley. Hasbro up 2-1. Provo and Jimmy Roberts. But Blackhawks goals by Jim Brenneman, I guess you call it. Jim McKenzie? Pie McKenzie? Was John McKenzie? John McKenzie wasn't part of the Blackhawks trade to Boston. That couldn't be right. Chico Mackey and Stan Mikita, the guy who a couple years later decided to not take so many dumb penalties because his 2-year-old daughter wondered why daddy was always going to the penalty box. So Stan Mikita cleaned up his act, allegedly. Detroit Rangers, tie game, 4-4 Rangers. Crozier and Plant get the points. Detroit goes by Larry Jeffrey, and no, that's not how you spell my legal first name. My legal first name is E-R-Y. Marcel Prelefaux for Habib Leaf. Paul Henderson, yes, that Paul Henderson. Henderson's no wide shot. Here's another shot. Let's score. Henderson has scored for Canada. Well, he scored for Detroit. And Rod Murphy, I think. Guess it is. Rangers goes by Jean Rattel, Donnie Marshall, Phil Goyette, and Camille the Heel Henry. Thursday, Toronto heads to Boston. Have we faced Boston? Yes, we faced Boston, right? So technically, what I try to do is I don't play the same team twice in a 5-game playthrough. So Toronto, Boston. Yeah, we faced Boston, right? Yeah, we've already faced Boston, so we can't. So technically, I can't play as the Leafs. I can't play as Boston. I can't play Boston. I've already played Boston before. So I try to avoid the same team twice. And we win 5-2. So Sawchuk finally does his job. He beats Ed Johnston. Toronto goals by Papan Stamkowski, Red Kelly, Ron Ellis, and then Andy Backey finally puts one on the board. 3 power play goals for us. Boston goals by Tommy Williams and Erlen Kurterbach. 5-2. So we're 2-1-1. No games Friday. Saturday, we are hosting the Rangers, but we've already played the Rangers, so that is that. Detroit, Montreal. Detroit, Gagne, 3-1. Crozier beats Worsley. Montreal, Pocket Rocket, Richard with a goal. Val Fontaine, the guy who rarely gets penalties. Scores for Detroit. Ron Murphy and Bruce McGregor. Now, I know you'll be thinking, Fontaine. How much was he? So here's Fontaine. Oh, he's still alive. Pittsburgh Rangers in Detroit. Yep, one of the cleanest players in NHL history. In 820 NHL games in 13 seasons, he served 26 minutes in the penalty box. That's 13 minors, if you will. He was completely unpenalized in 5 different seasons, including 3 in a row from 1965 to 1968. And he only had 2 minor penalties in 149 WHA games for the Oilers. He went to 3 Stanley Cup finals with the Red Wings. So that's how freaking clean this guy was. He only took 13 minor penalties. Took 13 penalties. His whole fucking life in the NHL. Rangers Leafs because we already played the Rangers. And we win 5-2 as Plant got shell-shocked. Sawchuk does his job. Ranger goals by Dick Duff, former Leaf, and Donnie Marshall. I don't think he was a Leaf. Dave Keon, Ron Ellis, Andy Bathgate, Bob Holford, and Don McKinney into the empty net against his former team. Well, Bathgate too. Did the job. So we got that. Saturday, the Sunday game. The Leafs don't play on Sunday. Anyway, Detroit will face Boston, and it's a tie 3-3. Boston trying to get their first win, but it's a tie. Crozier and Johnston. Detroit was up 3-2. Floyd Smith, Bruce McGregor, and Alex Delvecchio with the goals. Boston goals by Johnny Busick, Murray Oliver, and Ab McDonald. Ab McDonald scored a goal. E-I-E-I-O. You know how to do it. Blackhawks Rangers. The Rangers will tie 2-2. Hall beats Hall and Plant tie. Ranger goals by Gilbert and Donnie Marshall, trying to get their first win of the year, but they didn't. Phil Esposito and Dennis Hall with the goals for the Hawks. Yeah, for future Ranger Phil Esposito. 26, 27. So we're going to cut to the 27th. next video, 25-minute. Yeah, we're at 25 minutes. So next video, we will head to Chicago. We're 3-1-1. And the Blackhawks are 3-1-1. So it's going to be a hectic battle for first place. I think it's first place, right? Well, Detroit technically is first place, but we have only played 5 games, so has Chicago. So right now, Detroit, Toronto, Chicago, and Montreal would all make the playoffs. Rangers and Boston keep getting ties and not wins. So yeah, so that's what we are. We're the only team in the NHL not to lose at home. We've only played 2 games. On the road, 3 teams haven't lost. Detroit, Chicago, Montreal, and we lost on the road. Summary and all that. Rod Gilbert and Ron Ellis have 6 goals each. Dennis Shorty technically is the best goalie with Glenn Hall, so Chicago's got a good rotation. Sawchuk 4 games, 278. Bowers of 357, despite him winning that game. Yeah, Detroit, Toronto, Chicago, Montreal. As for us, Sawchuk 2-1, Bauer 1-1. We're 3-1-1. We Ron Ellis 6 points, all goals. Mihaljevic with 5 points. Bob Pulford with 4. Ellis leads in 6 goals. Mihaljevic 5 assists. So Ellis's points are all goals. So is Pulford's actually. While Mihaljevic, Armstrong, and Douglas, all their points have been assists. Carl Brewer 14 minutes in the box. So that doesn't matter. But yeah, the Leafs were 3-1-1. We have a tough game against Chicago next time. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.